Hey, thanks for joining us. You are listening to Youth Unhinged by Yuvaan and Karan. When Fanatic Gen hit us in the face, we both sat down and decided to talk about it. If you happen to be around our age or seem confused on what is going on in the minds of us millennials, cheer up, you have come to the right place. Hey everyone, welcome to Youth Unhinged. We are Karan and Yuvaan, and we're going to continue our life with another great episode. As you guys have already known, last time we talked about pets, especially dogs. And I was sharing my story about my dog. So to be fair, I need to give the cat person some chance as well, aka giving Karan some chance. So Karan, you have a cat in your house, am I right?
Yes, so thank you for giving me the chance to talk about Catty finally. Well, right. I mean, we've had the whole episode talking about quote unquote man's best friend, or so they
Yes.
say. Yeah, well, I mean, there is some substance to that. I'm not going to deny that. But okay, I've got my cat. It's a female cat. So unlike yours is a male dog. So
Yep.
my cat is female, and we've called her Cathy.
Happy.
And I
Okay.
think it's a good representation of the character as well. Like you'd
Was it
expect
like pun
Cathy to be.
intended or what? Cat E.
Yeah, yeah,
Cathy.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh my
For
god,
sure, for
that's
sure.
nice.
Yeah, you got it. And also, Kathy is like, when you say Kathy, it sounds like a step down from Karen. Not as
Mm-hmm.
bad, but still somewhere there, if you know what I mean. And I think in that sense it sort of suits her personality. So not Kathy with C, Kathy with K.
Okay, understood.
You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it totally gives me
So
cat
so
vibes.
yeah, it's so like she's that kind, like, don't touch me, can't touch this.
And do you know what breed she is?
Well, no, not really. The thing is, right, we picked her up from this local pet store,
Mm-hmm.
and they sort of sell. They've got like a bunch of cats there. Nothing, nothing like pure breed. I think it's all stuff that they some they picked up at the side of the road,
Mm-hmm.
and in this particular case, this cat was mistreated, was ill treated.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently its previous owner sort of like killed its kittens in front of her or something like that.
Oh my
So
god.
sad story. And we picked her up like very, very thin, hardly eating anything. I remember just seeing pictures of her because I wasn't there when my dad picked her up. I was in matriculation, and I remember seeing her like this thin little creature, and just sleeping on the floor of my house. I saw a few pictures like that. And yeah, I mean, very fluffy for sure, and you could see that from the start. However, she wasn't that fat. And yeah, I think she didn't give any trouble in terms of eating anything. We did a very quick job fattening her up. All that we had to do, I think, was just send her to the vet, and just make sure she's all healthy, good to go. And once that was settled, it was quite easy. It's quite obvious she loves wet food. uh, as long as you pick one of those up, mix it maybe with some rice, and she's more than happy. She'll meow in pleasure. And it's nice to see how her progression was from a cat that couldn't really meow, because of just numerous factors. Primarily, I think because just not she just didn't have the energy to do it. I remember in the morning she'd be like sneezing, and you could see a lot of mucus around her. But then she got healthier quite quickly, and then we realized that leaving her outside in the night uncovered is not really a good thing, I suppose, because
Yeah.
of temperature fluctuations.
Mm-hmm.
So
Especially in
as
Malaysia
long
right
as
now.
yeah, that's right. It gets quite cold at night. So as long as she's covered up, reasonably, relatively warm, I think that's half of the problem settled. And then in a few weeks' time, she started meowing very well, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really nice to hear those clear meows. And she got more confident, being around with us, and now she just lies down in the hall, the living room, no problem.
So I can safely say she's in a way better hands now.
Sure, you can say that.
And how did this idea came about? What makes you guys go to the pet store and pick up a cat?
Well, yeah. So, needless to say, we've been following the last episode. Then, all of you should know that I am generally a cat person. So,
Mm-hmm.
wanting a cat has been something, or rather, has been on my list for a very long, long, long time. However, once I started going into college, university, it became much less of a priority in the sense that owning a cat, one must be aware that when going into it, that cats require a lot of maintenance, especially if you're going after a cat that's furry. You need to keep combing it because uh, cats can easily develop mats, especially ones with long fur. Now, matting is a condition where the fur essentially gets tangled up, just like how
Yeah.
your hair, if it's too long, it sort of gets tangled up.
Yeah,
But
I
the thing
think
about
dogs
matting is,
also have the same
yeah,
condition.
dogs also form mats. True. So
Mm-hmm.
so which is why again, it's a big thing with furry dogs. So those dogs, cats that are not that furry, fine, not that big of a deal. They can sort of groom themselves. So cats can lick themselves.
Yeah.
They on their tongue. Their tongue is very rough. It's got like fibers sticking out. And so that's sort of like a comb for them that they use to comb their fur. Do you know
Mm.
if dogs have that?
I'm not sure, but then I think mainly this type of animals not only using their tongue because they can't reach a certain part with their legs, right? They will kind of
Mhm.
scratch them also, so it can have some negative
Sure.
effects as well.
Right. Yeah. I suppose you can end up
Rashes or
injuring
kind of
yourself.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
injuring themselves,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it?
Yeah. Then how has your life been with this cat so far? Sorry, I should say
Uh
catty.
oh, Kathy, yeah. Yeah, well, it hasn't changed that much, but I know I've been a bit more distracted from my work because I keep feeling like disturbing her and sort of squeezing her, and it's not like she likes it. She doesn't. She's like, get away from me.
Typical
But I can't
cats.
help
My
myself.
God.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny. A lot of people don't like animals because they think, oh, they're gonna come to me and bother me. And I mean, Kathy, when you look at her, she's like the last person that's gonna do that. She's like, huh? You're scared of me bothering you? Nah, I'm scared of you bothering me, man. If you know what I mean.
I'm living my life. Please don't enter my space. That's the thought most of the time, I
Exactly.
guess.
Yeah, yeah. That's essentially what's in a beautiful cat's mind. They're like, I'm beautiful. Just look at me.
Yeah.
And nothing beyond that. So I mean, in that sense, you can see why I said that there is some merit to the dogs being man's best friend thingy. You can see why. But then again, that being said, not all cats are like that.
Yeah, I think dogs and cats are quite different in that sense. I mean, dogs are man's best friend, as what they say, like you also said it just now. But then cats, I think they offer something different from dogs. I think cats are more of a, how can I say? They are not really a companion, but then they are more like really a pet kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Very silent,
Mm,
silent companion. They don't make themselves known, but then if you're just looking for something to have and there's something to see, then yeah, cats are there for you, I suppose. If you just want to see them around, yeah, they probably won't be with you all the time. They're more
yeah,
like minding their own business kind of
they're not so
animals.
attached as some of the dogs are.
Not attached.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And do you let Kathy out of the house or it's always in the house?
Yeah, well, what we've done is we've actually got her neutered.
Mm-hmm.
So that means yeah, it's best not to let her mingle with other cats. And here's another thing about it. The thing when you get cats, injected and vaccinated and basically. I mean, once you give premium healthcare to animals in general as pets, you don't want them mingling around with stray animals
Yeah,
because
that's very
number
true.
one, yeah, they can get into fights quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, pets are generally quite possessive in the sense that they have their territory marked, as
Yep.
in the whole house is theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get quite angry quite quickly, I think, if they see other animals around their territory. I remember showing another cat to Kathy once, and oh my goodness, both cats started wailing at each other, and
My
Kathy
God.
was ready to fight. Yeah, and so that's the second thing. And then lastly, once you have an animal like a cat biting you or something, you don't necessarily have to take an injection or I mean, as long as the wound isn't too bad, you don't have to take another injection or anything. Just because that cat, for a fact, hasn't been interacting with animals outside. And so as long as that cat is clean, you're sort of relatively convinced that nothing is going to happen to you, and no disease transmission is occurring.
And I suppose you also don't have any allergic to the fur, right?
No, I don't.
That's a good thing because I think I might have developed an allergy. So whenever I pet my dog, I need to wash myself, like my hands and everything properly with soap because I'll be having rashes very, very fast.
Right. So like sort of itches.
Yeah, especially around my wrist area, my palm. So I need to get it cleaned.
Wow. Okay.
It's a
That's
bit sad
that's
because it feels like you're not really connected with the dog.
yeah, yeah. Especially if you like your dog that much, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it feels like a loss. I want to be with you, but I can't.
And then when you're talking about your cat biting or anything, like, have Catty bite you anytime?
Yes, for sure. She's bitten me a few times already. And here's the thing: when you get a bit like like I said before, cats are very mind their own business kind of animals. That they're that kind of animals. So, I think humans tend to get a bit overexcited. Humans tend to be the dogs when it comes to human cat relationships. We are
That's a
we are the
nice way
ones
to put
that
it.
become. Yeah, it's funny. Well, there's a backstory to this. Yuvaan calls all of us dogs.
Ah, that's why I say I like dogs more than humans. I like you guys. That's a
Oh yeah.
compliment right there.
Wow. Yeah, let's take it that way. The glass is half full. But anyway, what I was saying is, yeah, I tend to be the one that's more overexcited. I sort of squish her, cuddle her too much, and cats don't like that. They're like the furthest
Yeah.
thing away from that. And so to show their annoyance over it, they'll give you a nip or two, and you keep holding those bites get harder and harder. I remember once restraining her too long, she actually bit me, and I yeah, she left like 2 marks of the canine father. I mean, those teeth. She left 2 teeth marks on my wrist, and yeah, I think I can still see it today. It's very very small, but it's still there.
Yeah, I suppose the teeth must be quite sharp.
Yeah, very sharp actually. It's surprising. You wouldn't think, yeah, you wouldn't think it's that sharp. You'd think like you can sort of handle it because it's not a jaw that's as strong as a dog's one is
Mm-hmm.
after all, right?
That's why I think it's something that I like to brag about because I can show to anyone. I can literally put my whole hand inside my dog's mouth and he won't even bite me.
He
And
won't
even
bite.
if he bite,
Yeah.
I can only feel the force, but then there's no injury because since it's a
Uh-huh.
Labrador, it's having a not so sharp tooth. It's a very strong tooth.
Right.
The whole
Mhm.
teeth is like very strong, but then it's not really sharp as
Just
compared to
not
other
sharp.
breeds. Yeah.
So penetration wise, it's not.
Mm-hmm. But then I can still put my whole hand inside. He won't bite me.
You're right. Okay, that's nice to know. I wonder if German Shepherds can can do the
Depends
same.
actually. I think pretty sure
Yeah.
our friend's dog won't do it. The last time I tried to
Yeah,
pet him,
I was,
he
I was
almost chopped
thinking
my
the
hand
same
off.
thing. I was thinking the exact same thing. We are both talking about one friend. That one friend, if you're listening, your dog is dangerous.
It's a good dog, just that very scary and unpredictable.
Sure, like any German Shepherds, very good dogs, but to their owners, of course, right?
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
very, very
what
true.
I was saying was, there's quite a bit of power that comes with cats. Their jaws are quite powerful. I think it left me surprised the amount of power that it had the other day. Quite deep. They can bite quite deep.
And then grooming wise, any major
Yeah,
things that you
sure.
need to do?
Yeah, you've got to be consistent in grooming cats. Even short-haired cats like the British short hair, for example, they also form mats, just not as bad as cats that are longer haired.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's best to keep them groomed, and especially cats like the Persian cat, Turkish Angora. I think you're asking what breed is my cat. I think the closest breed that we could find to it was the Turkish Angora, and so these cats are generally long-haired cats. And the thing about these breeds, the Persian and the breeds like the breeds like Kathy, is that these breeds have been sort of made by men, and so we've sort of like mixed different breeds of cats in order to form this breed, and so some things are just not made. Some parts of the cat are not made to tolerate certain characteristics that it has.
Yeah,
For
because the way
example,
they crossbreed those
yeah,
species, right?
because the way
Yeah.
they've crossbred it, and
Mm-hmm.
so cats lick themselves to sort of get rid of the loose fur, but
Uh-huh.
then you can't expect that of a Persian cat because the fur is just too long for the cat's tongue to sort of to sort of reach deep enough to remove, loose hairs. And so a side effect of this is the fact that you need to send these cats for grooming, and that costs like what uh it costs quite a bit, depending on where you are. And yeah, so that's another factor to consider, yeah, and to take into account when before getting a cat. It's the fact that if you get one that predominantly, this goes mostly for cats that are long haired, but even some cats that are short haired, it depends. It varies case by case, I suppose. But you have to factor in this as something that you want to set aside some money for, because yeah, they need to take showers and stuff like that to keep them clean.
Yeah, showering is a very hard part. And planning to buy any other cats?
We were talking about it, funny enough, the other day, but no, I don't think so. I think one is enough headache.
Same issue with my family. I told them, I suggested, and they were like, oh, no, you'll be buying a dog, then you leave the country. Why you want to buy another dog? I have no idea.
Leave two with us now, huh?
Mhm. I think people that have cats generally tend to buy more cats. I feel like, or even have more cats. No need to buy. You can just find or adopt, right?
Yes, what they've been doing in places like the UK and so on is they've been encouraging people to go to homes, animal care homes, and pick up an animal from there, as opposed to getting one yourself from a pet shop. The reason being is that so many animals out there have just been abused and just being left out there to die. And the thing about it is animal shelters are having tough times coping with the sheer number of animals that are being brought into their centers because of domestic abuse.
Yeah, and then mostly the organizations are NGOs, right? So they don't really have that
Yes,
much of
true.
financial
They
power
don't really
to
have
control the
they don't
place.
have the funds to get to maintain the place as a whole and get food for the animals and so on. And also, you know what? The animals that you get from animal shelters are really well bred, nicely kept, and in fact, the Prime Minister's office in the United Kingdom, they've always had a cat there. The Prime Minister's office, Prime Minister's residence, they've always had a cat there, and they've even put in a title for that cat. They're known as the Chief Mousers.
That's nice.
So you've got a chief mouser in the Prime Minister's residence. You've got a chief mouser in Parliament, I think, and another place, I don't know where. And so these cats, they generally take from animal shelter, and I think it's a good step in promoting animal shelters as a place for you to get your pets. And also, it's very nice to see these cats, very well bred, well kept, very healthy, very nice to look at.
I think that is something that I regretted as well. I mean, I'm not regretting about Tommy, but then I feel like I could have just adopted a dog instead of buying it, because obviously adopting is way better than buying a special breed, right? Because most of them out there are not really having a great time in the shelters. So maybe give them a better life.
Yes, very true. But that being said, though, like some people are out in the market looking for a very specific kind of pure breed of species, and so when you're looking at that, then I suppose people are a bit cautious when it comes to getting an animal out of an animal shelter, because you're not really sure whether that animal is a pure breed or not. But I guess as a general rule of thumb, it's better to get one from an animal shelter, isn't it?
Yeah, but then there are some other consequences, as you don't know what kind of health problems they might be having.
Yeah,
And
that's
maybe,
true. Yeah.
And then, like you say, if you don't know what breed it is, maybe you need to do more maintenance than other cats or
Yes,
other
very
dogs.
true. Yes, that is actually true. Yeah, because it depends. Yeah, you can't really pin down exactly what breed a particular cat or dog is when it's coming from a cat shelter. Because generally documentation there is not very good, is it?
Yeah, I think some people even take a even further step by going and finding out how the parents look like and what breed they are. I think that's a bit of a
And so
stretch.
the question then becomes, how do you do that at an animal shelter?
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, obviously, if you, as I said in the last episode or so, if you know how to train anything, you got the knowledge, I think you'll be doing very well.
Yes, point taken. That's a very good point that you bring up there. So yeah, I suppose if you want to keep an animal, then you probably must do the appropriate amount of research before getting one finally. And in fact, that's the reason why you find a lot of animals being unattended and uncared for, and also facing abuse, is because a lot of them, a lot of owners don't actually do proper research, and then when they find out, they have to put up with specific attitudes of animals. For example, cats not being appreciative of their owner, and so on and so forth. I guess they become a bit angry, annoyed, frustrated, and then you see all sorts of sad stories coming out from that.
Yeah, find the proper one that matches your reason. As in, for my case, I need a companion, and for Karan's case, he just loves cats and he wants to have a cat. So it makes sense. Let's say if you're a person that is like always at home, you need something to cuddle with. You're not gonna go into get a German Shepherd or a very how can I say, like a animal that is very active, right? Because they need to be having proper exercise and so on. So get something that actually matches what you need, and don't just get because other people are telling you to do so, or you're just following the trend. Just don't do that.
So what do you think of cats in general, Yuvan?
Okay, I don't know whether I should share this story or not, but since everyone like a good story, I might just.
And
I
since
was
I've asked the
actually
question,
okay.
I asked for it.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I keep on saying okay. I actually wanted to get a cat, not before my dog, but my dog was like my prime goal, right? And when I was with my ex-girlfriend last time, I was planning to get a cat in future, right? So that was our plan for our own house if we ever build something. Yeah. So when we lived together, I was planning to have a cat because she really loves cat. And I think she still does. I'm not sure. Who knows, right? So it was like, okay, I'll be having my 4 dogs outside house. They can enter inside also, but then generally they be outside. My favorite breeds: German Shepherd, Golden
Four
Retriever,
dogs.
Rottweiler, and a blue eye Pitbull. I don't know why so specific. Just my favorite. Just
Uh-huh.
like a dream, right? And then
Oh,
inside the
that's
house,
gonna
I'll
be a
be
big house then.
yeah. Inside the house, I'll be having a cat. So that was my plan. And after that, I kind of start to like cats. So when I like cats, I mean, when I see cats nowadays, it'll be like, oh my god, they're so cute. I want to go and pet them. I want to just go and sit with them. But then few years back, it was like, cat. Absolutely not. Dogs are way better. I had the thought, but then it has changed over time.
Do you remember back in Form 5, we used to, get random cats and sit them down in class?
Yeah, at that time I was loving cats. I was like, oh, if possible, I'll just live with them.
All right. So
Yeah.
that was the turning point then.
Yep, that's true. And to be honest, cats are not so bad. They're quite nice. They're very
Yeah, it
cuddly.
depends on the cat. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember the cats back in Form 5 in school, right? They had really good personalities. They don't
Hmm.
mind just staying there and letting humans pet them. It's so nice. I mean, try that with Kathy, and yeah, you can see her annoyance very quickly.
She's really a type.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, she's got attitude problems.
It's like attitude
but
problem.
I suppose that's just, yeah, catitude. That's a good one. But I suppose that's just how she is. I can't do much about it. Yeah. But to be honest, I haven't seen a cat very much like her ever before. She's a very unique one. Or either that, or I just haven't been around with cats, that much to judge. But yeah, I mean, uh, as far as all the cats that I've come across uh, goes, going by that, then yeah, she's definitely stands out.
Most of the time, we might think that we made the wrong choice with our pets. I feel like in my case, especially. But then once you embrace all the memories, it will turn out to be a great adventure. I mean,
Sure.
I can't even take care of myself, but then I can take care of my dog. I would say it's a very big achievement for me.
So let's answer this question then. What do you think? Would you do a better job keeping a dog or a cat?
Dog.
Which is better? A dog.
Mm.
So why?
I can bring my dog for a walk.
Right. Yeah, you can't really do that with cats. The first thing they think of is trying to escape.
Yes.
So, I mean, generally, I think to anyone listening, I think you generally keep a cat if you stay at home or more. If you don't really go out that much and you want a companion at home indoors, then generally cats sound like the better idea.
Yeah,
And
I
if you're a
think
more
cats also
active
do
person,
prefer to stay in. than to go out.
Yes, true. And if you're a more active person, one that likes to go out for walks, jogs, discover, adventure, so on and so forth, then it looks like dogs are your best fit.
Or if you're a step ahead, you can find snakes, reptiles. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
up to you.
go for it.
You
Become a
do you,
wildlife
right?
expert.
Yeah.
Go get a crocodile for heaven's sake.
It's very easy. Just live your life as you
Yeah,
want.
true. Very true. I heard of a guy down in Texas or something, one of the states in the US. He had a bunch of pythons,
Oh,
and then the craziest thing about it, right, is one day something goes wrong. For example, a flood, and you've got a bunch of pythons and cobras running around your area.
my,
Oh my goodness!
I think he
Wow.
must have kept it properly sealed. I mean, not sealed. If sealed, they
Properly
can't breathe.
sealed until something like water comes in, and then how properly sealed, it doesn't really matter. Once water comes into the equation, it's all out, right?
Yeah, that's
I
true
mean,
as well.
yeah, I mean, all sorts of things can happen with something like that.
Malaysia had this case also where there was this guy that was taking care of a lot of spiders, like venomous ones also. And then suddenly someone complained. And then they took it away from him. And the time he go and try to get them back, they've already killed all of the spiders.
Uh-huh.
But then he really loved the spiders, so it was very sad to see the story.
Sure, yeah. Well, I understand that. I mean, maybe he should have notified, the relevant authorities beforehand and gone through. I don't know. It's interesting when you talk about stories like this. What are the procedures behind it? What right did they have to take the animals away?
Yeah.
Was he fully responsible in looking after them? Probably not as well, which is why they took it away, right?
I think from what I see, he did take care of them quite well and quite safe, to be honest. Just that,
Mhm.
I don't know, some...
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wonder if you need to apply for licenses for stuff like snakes and venomous creatures like spiders.
I think venomous stuff you need to get license, if I'm not mistaken. And dogs also you need to get license actually. For big size dog, like my dog, you need to get a license. And I think if you don't have a pet and you think you need a pet, please get it.
However, it's funny. Some people say they're not animal people. What do you think about that?
Mainly because I think they don't have the experience of it. Or maybe
I
if
suppose so.
I don't think they can take the responsibility of taking care of something, mainly.
I do believe that they can, sort of warm up to them eventually.
Depends.
I think once an animal comes into your life, and I think it's just a matter of time before you actually warm up to them and then become almost inseparable. It's just that they haven't had the experience yet, and so being away so far, so long from animals, just sort of like isolated them, and then they sort of feel like that they don't like animals. But
I think
I guess
it's like having
if
a
it's
newborn
forced
in
down
your
them,
family as well.
yeah,
Like it
true.
might be quite awkward initially.
Yeah. But I imagine if they had no choice, and they were to, and someone forced them to take an animal, eventually they'll actually start liking the animal. And then if you want to take it away, it would sort of be impossible.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I think you will be eventually start to like it in my case. Because even though I love dogs so much, it was very awkward for me to have the dog in the first place, right? I did think about just selling it back or giving him to someone else.
Oh, you did?
But if I did that now, if I did that back then, and I'm pretty sure I'll be regretting so much right now because
Yeah.
I think it gave me so much advantages than the regular maintenance that I need to do. I would say it's a great part of my life.
How many times have you taken your dog to the vet?
First time we went for the vaccination, we just followed the appointment pretty much annually.
So
But then the
how
first
many
time, I
times
think we
is
need
that
to
per
go
year?
every month. Every month was
I
like
see.
3 months. And then after that, just annually go and get the vaccine. And if got any
Right. So you
tick
need
problem or anything, then I'll just go and get the medicine.
right. Okay.
And oh no,
with
my
cats,
God, pet medicines are quite expensive.
isn't it? It's a whole industry in its own. I mean, it's just like humans. Animals need medicine, and so I suppose again, you've got chemists and all involved. It's another scientific field on its own, isn't it?
Yeah, but then I think they do know so that people will throw their money for the pets instead of their own health.
Yes, very true. And here's the thing: I think you've got pet insurance as well.
Yeah, they got it. So when I saw it in the clinic, I was like, I should get it for Tommy. But my mother was like, come on, your dog is already having everything that he needs. Then I was like, okay, fair enough.
why give it more? But I mean, it is a business on its own, and I mean, people who some people actually go the extra mile and give them their pets insurance. I mean, who knows? Cancer, HIV, one of that. It can hit
Maybe.
even animals.
Oh.
Yeah, possible. Maybe it's not called HIV. Might have a different FIV for felines. I think. If I'm not, I remember one of my relatives' cats had something related to HIV. I think they called it FIV or something like that. But yeah, possible. And then when you have something like that, you need to get medicine quite often. And then if you have an insurance coverage, then you don't have to pay that much.
Yeah, I think, it totally makes sense. To conclude it, I'd like to say you can have a pet and you can have a great time. Just know what you're doing and you can be great at it. I'm having a dog right now and I'm absolutely loving it. And Karan is having a cat. And the cat is goddamn cute, man.
I'm having a cat and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll end it here. Thank you so much for listening to Youth Unhinged. We'll see you in the next episode.
And as usual, if you have any suggestion, please drop in our Instagram DM. Goodbye.